Oh, you don't see my face?
Okay.
Yeah, I got your voice on there now.
Okay.
I'm gonna hang up the
You
phone.
can't see me.
I can't see you, but that's okay.
I'm here.
Yeah. Okay. It's just where we were 5 minutes ago.
Yes.
Okay. Let's jump in because I will have to disconnect from you
Okay.
at a 1:45.
Okay.
So, just a couple of questions, and so this research that I'm doing is I'm trying to understand what it takes for boomers like us to really savor life in the second half of our lives. When we retire at 60, 65, I mean, we're only halfway through. Okay.
Yeah.
Some people are very well set up. They kind of have their act together and so on. Others don't.
Yes.
And so that's where these questions are coming from. So your answer to the first question might be, I don't know what you're talking about, John. I have no. So the first question is, what's the biggest problem or hurdle preventing you from leading the life you desire or imagine?
Well, you know what, John, because I think I probably am, I would have to say that I think I'm leading the life that I would imagine right now.
Okay. That's what I was expecting to hear from you. So that's why I said it might be meaningless.
Yes.
Because I think you said, maybe it wasn't the last time that we spoke about this idea of coaching younger folks, teaching them how to be successful in the business that you were successful in, etc.
Yes.
Kind of giving back to society by bringing the younger folks along. And a lot of people want to do that, and you, in fact, are.
Yeah, I am well, maybe by a year. There's one geologist here who would be of my vintage, but everyone else in the organization is younger than I am, probably by 10 years or more.
So 30s and 40s, kind of?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. One guy here is he'd be in his early 60s, but I think everyone else here would be 50 and younger.
Okay. So let me change the question around a little bit. And for you, what are the elements of an ideal life?
Well, I think that in my mind, they would be, I think, to be engaged in life, in all aspects of it. I mean, again, work is a very important, or my profession is a very important part of who I am.
Mm-hmm.
And so I have the opportunity to continue to be engaged in that. I am not as actively, I'm going to say I'm not as actively participating in it as I was before, because I have hired a staff that's all younger than I am, and I am in the process of what's the word? Planning myself out of a job, if you like. So I'm in the last company I had, there really was not a succession plan in place.
Okay. Yeah.
I believe that there's more of a succession plan in place with this company. But I mean, that's one aspect of it, John, as you would expect. Like I have 3 daughters. 2 of them are actively in the workforce outside the home. My eldest daughter has 2 children, and she's raising those 2 children while her husband works. And so I'm they live just 5 minutes away from me. So I'm very active in my granddaughter and grandson's life. And and active with my family. In fact, they're all coming down to Fernie tomorrow, and we're having a late Thanksgiving dinner.
Oh, nice.
Because we missed it on Thanksgiving. They were, again, it's a busy time of year.
Mm-hmm.
But so I stay very active. We had a lovely vacation together this summer. I now have a place in Fernie. They all ski, so I see my family very frequently.
Mm-hmm.
So when I think of the components of, I have a lovely family that are just wonderful to be around, and I'm very engaged with all of them, including the spouses, in various ways. I have a really engaging, challenging job, and I think I have meaningful, I provide meaningful input here.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm able to take extra time off because I don't have to be here for the day-to-day running of the organization. It's more around the strategy, and so I can do some traveling.
Yep.
That I'm able to do because I'm financially independent.
Yeah.
So I guess those are for family, engaging work, and then the ability to travel. And I'm still doing exercise and staying fit.
Good. I was waiting for that. Because that's really the first thing you have to have. Without your health, relationships, everything else is almost meaningless.
Well, exactly.
Enjoy it.
Yes. Okay. And so, and my family are active. We, they mountain bike. So we mountain bike down in Fernie in the summertime. And so I'm mountain biking with them and my friends.
Yeah.
We ski in the winter. I'm going on an avalanche training course with my daughter and son-in-law in the beginning of January up at Purcell Lodge for 5 days.
Neat.
So
okay.
I don't know that I would pick a different life to lead.
No, and that's good, because as you were rhyming those off, I'm going through what I think people need to have in their lives, 5 different aspects, and you've covered them all, with health and relationships being the 2 most important.
Yes.
And playing at something, and in fact, what you're doing at work, although you keep using the word work, I would very easily substitute play in there.
I don't like to tell them that here, John, but yes, I would agree with you on that. It is really fun, and I thoroughly like the people I work with here are just so fantastic. Every one of them is so wonderful, and we do have, I think we have a lot of fun here.
Yeah, which is ideal. And so you are living the life that I want to have other boomers live.
Okay, well,
or aspire to.
I'm not suggesting it's perfect, but
if it was perfect, we humans, whenever stuff is going very smoothly,
yes,
and it's been going smoothly too long, we do stuff to shake it up, to have some excitement, to make it more challenging.
I know you would say, there really is a truth in the joy of stress. Here it is quite stressful. We are, as I mentioned, this is an exploration company, so we're involved in high risk activities here, and there's been more than once around here that we've had bad results, and we get all stressed out about them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a very much of a roller coaster ride here. You're hitting me on a good time because we've had a couple of results come in that look really good, really positive.
Mm-hmm.
We think that we're on track to do something really special here.
Yeah.
But there's been other times when it hasn't really been that way here.
And you learn from those. Well, I mean, the exploration game is a really exciting game.
Mm-hmm.
You have highs and lows and so on. It's not counting, right? I can't remember. No, there's an aspect of that to it, but yes. There is. I mean, you do have accountants who play that role, but because it's a small group, they are part of the team, and they feel the ups and downs of the choices that are being made.
Yes. I mean, I do sit on volunteer boards as well, John. I was at the Glenbow Museum for a while, so I got into art. Now I'm at actually it's the ARBI. I don't know. So the Association for Rehabilitation of the Brain Injured.
Oh.
So these are people of all ages. But it's not just strokes, but car accidents or brain injuries, trauma.
Injuries from whatever cause.
Yes.
They need to be rehabilitated. Yeah. And this is one of the other things I think that we'll encourage boomers to do is, when you get tired of playing golf or traveling, people say, well, I want to retire, I want to travel a lot, and then end up taking 1 or 2 trips and they go, okay, well, that's enough. And it's typically about 24 months after people retire when they want to get re-engaged. And that re-engagement could be, as you've done with the kind of work that you did before, could be something that you left behind when you started your career and you want to pick up again.
Yes.
Or it could be in charitable organizations, in nonprofits, or going and contributing their expertise. Could be a project manager who knows how to make things happen, goes and helps this group make things happen, or whatever ends they have in mind.
Yes.
And,
no, I those are
so much energy that we have as boomers that we need to put to work. And we have to figure out, okay, so come on, guys, what do we do? Go find something that needs to be fixed, find something you want to make better, and go do it. Go play.
That's terrific. No, that is. So you've been doing this with a number of people, or through you guys get together, and how do you facilitate this, I guess?
Well, I kicked Play It Creation off about 2 years ago, and last year I started figuring out, okay, how do I want to do it? This year we put a course in place, the intent of which was to have people create a venture. And I purposely say a venture, not a business, a venture that is going to give them a sense of doing something worthwhile, having meaningful results in the world, rebuilding a community around them, which we typically lose most of when we leave work, reestablish their identities, have joyful experiences, and healthy activity. Some will need to generate income,
yes,
because they don't have private pensions or something, like myself, right? Because of the way I chose my career, I don't have a private pension. I got CPP, but that's it. So we'll need to do that. Others won't. Others, like yourself, say, well, I'm well set up. I don't have to worry about that. I am going to use my time to do this other stuff. So anyway, we had this workshop set up, and the way it works is the front end is we have people go through some self-reflection and figure out what they want to experience in life. You'll be surprised at the number of people who have said to me, I don't know what I want to do. I don't know how to figure it out. So anyway, the first part is figure out the experiences you want to have in your life. What's going to make you happy? That's why I asked the question, what are the elements in your ideal life? Once you know that, then we have them design a venture that's going to give them those experiences. And then the last piece is to make that venture real, to have them actually start doing it by the end of it. And so I've realized after we've run it the first time from March till June, and we're doing the second iteration now. Now this is actually a year-long process, at least. Trying to do it in 3 months was crazy. So I'm moving all my content online now, and we will be having things like masterminds. We've got a couple of those going where we meet once a week.
Yes.
And a different person is you're on the hot seat every 2 or 3 weeks, where everybody's focused on you. Depends on the size of the group. And then, that is to keep you, kind of give you a team, a team of friends, I guess, that has your back. as well as make you accountable for delivering what you said you were going to do. If you say to us, well, in 2 weeks, I'm going to have this done, it's amazing how, because you've said it to your teammates,
Absolutely.
you get it done.
Absolutely.
And that typically is a big missing for most people. Most solopreneurs have that missing. They, like myself as well, we tend to procrastinate or not be focused on doing what we are supposed to be doing rather than what's nice to do. You get an interesting newsletter that's talking about trends that are coming, and you go, oh, this is really good, and leave your work behind. The stuff is supposed to be there. And you make the excuse, well, I need to know about these trends so I can advise others.
Yes.
But anyway, so I'm trying to figure all this out. And I expect what I will have is a couple of groups of students who, in fact, need to do that self-reflection, need to find a venture or two where they want to spend their time, and then make that venture real. So that's where we're going.
I mean, you can do that in so many different, like, certainly part of my, I feel like I want, for example, I want my family to spend time with me. Mm-hmm. So I work on things, activities or events or trips that they would want to come on with me.
How about, did I ever tell you about the Beret bike tours?
I have. I know that you've gone on those.
No, we haven't gone on this one yet. We were intending to have it this year, but I didn't start telling people about it until January, and that's too late. Everybody's decided where they're going for the year.
Did I not see pictures of you or your wife? I forgot.
Yeah, Marie.
Marie, she was. You guys have done this through France, have you not?
No, she set it up.
Oh.
So we've traveled through France, and so some of the pictures that we're using is when we were there.
Okay, sorry.
And last year we actually went and visited some of the towns that we're going to be cycling through. Yeah. But anyway, so this is a 2-week tour of rural France.
Fantastic.
Using bikes to get from one town to the next.
Because I remember back, if you recall, I went and stayed in the Canadian cabin or whatever it was.
Yeah, that's right.
And that was a fantastic trip. And we did have bicycles, and we cycled around there.
Okay, good.
So that was really fun.
So imagine that now for 2 weeks. And you don't stay in the same place. We go from town to town. Like Cognac is about the middle. I take the train to the coast and then cycle up the coast to the oyster beds and so on.
That'll be fantastic. Well, we had the best oysters. I have pictures I have my daughters opening their own oysters, and we had the salt and these oysters, right? So
oh, good.
it was a terrific time.
Yeah, that's what Marie is trying to. So that's her venture. After I had my heart attack, I said to her, "You better start something of your own." And so this is her venture. She wants to take North Americans to, and she grew up in that area. So take North Americans to that area and say, well, this is the real France. It's not just Paris or Côte d'Azur or
right.
So this is the real thing. So anyway, so that's her game.
Fantastic. Well, you're looking well, by the way.
Thank you. Got about 30 pounds to lose.
Don't we all?
Yeah, I keep making efforts though towards that. So, and I think getting ready for this tour, this bike trip in May, I'm gonna make sure that I get it done. So,
are you coming back on the canoe trip in 18 months' time?
I don't know about the canoe trip in 18 months.
Because you should have been. Michael Rain sent out an email I would have to check and make sure, see whether you were on it. I thought you would have been, but there was
I probably was, because I think I probably said to Michael, no, I've done that. Now I'm going to be on bikes in France.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Because that's so that he wants to redo the I think take longer.
Yeah.
Probably cover the same distance that we did before, but do it in a longer time to do more hiking.
Right. Yeah.
Karen and I, we went with Michael down to Moab, and we camped with him for 10 days in Moab last. It'll be a year. Last spring.
Okay.
So in April. And
April this year.
April this year.
Okay.
And we had a really enjoyable trip. So we'll see whether or not we do that again this year.
Last year I did the Camino in Spain.
Right.
And that was really good. And I've realized that I'm into doing that kind of stuff as long as there are hotels and nice beds and warm meals. So in fact, the bike tour is going to be like 3-star hotels and stuff like that. No camping for us, no bears, things like that.
That sounds wonderful.
So it's going to be.
Let me know. Well, I think you have, because you did send me on it. But I mean, keep me on that, because I know that we are. I mean, this I call it destination cycling. I've done that often before, and I love it. And
now, this is not so much a cycling trip as a tourist.
Yes.
But going at bike speed.
Yes.
So, I mean, if there are a couple of my friends who cycle a lot, who want to do like 100K loops or something, that's not what we intend. We want to ride like 25 to 45 kilometers from this town to the next every other day. And the purpose is more to explore the town, to see what's around, to experience, the open air markets, or to cook our own meal under the guidance of a chef, to make our own bread, those kinds of things. It's not so much.
No, I understand.
200K, yeah.
Yeah, well, but even and you can accommodate both of those things. I think.
Oh yeah.
Do 100K or 150K, they can, that's even like 100K is in my mind, it's like a 4 or 5 hour bike ride.
Yep. Yeah.
It's not,
and you can, and that is one of the things that we are building into this. So if somebody like my friend Chris, for instance, says, well, no, Janice is going to do what you guys do, but I want to go for a ride. So here's the loop that you can do. Start from where we are, go around and come back and meet us for dinner tonight.
Yeah. No, that should be good. That should be really good.
So I'll send you the PDF that we've put together for the tour.
Yes, please do.
And you can take a look at that. One of the things I'm saying to Maddie we should do is, for the 2 months before we go, to do a course as a group on the history and geography of the towns that we visit, the areas that we visit.
Excellent.
As well as have like 20 phrases that you're going to need when you're there. To order your baguette or your coffee or your glass of wine or whatever. So it should be fun. I mean, this is we've never done it before, so it's all experimentation. Let's see what works. What makes this a trip to remember. So
I think that would be fun.
Yeah.
And so what are you? So with this then? So what will make your life meaningful, John?
Play at creation is my game.
That's cool.
For the second half of my life. So play at creation, which what I'm playing for is 1,000 ventures started by people that we inspire or train or support over the next little while. So that when we get over on the other side and we're reminiscing around the campfire about what we did this turn, they say to me, John, that was so good. I'm glad you got me to start that venture. Let's go back and do it again because we had such a good time.
That's fun.
Then the other one's Mari's bike tour, right? That's another little game, and then the Costa Rican development. So three little things that we're trying.
What is the Costa Rican development?
Well, a couple of guys and myself. There's a hillside in Costa Rica, which we are subdividing into 16 building sites. And Brian, who lives down there, is the guy who's assembled the building team and the architects and so on. And so we're playing at real estate.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So anyway, I need to get off.
Okay.
Very soon because I've got the other one starting in a couple of minutes.
Okay.
So thank you very much for making this time to chat with me. And
always would, John. You know that.
And being an example for others.
Well, as I say, yeah, it keeps me very busy and very engaged and younger people challenge you and keep you young as well. So.
Exactly. Yeah, when you are engaged in helping younger people come along, it does keep you younger.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good.
Okay, man.
We'll talk to you later. I was thinking that we should probably arrange a meal again. Volcano Kitty and Michael, you and me.
Yes, I have not seen Christine since probably the last time we got together. So we'll have to do that again.
Yeah, she's had a knee operated on and stuff like that. So yeah. Okay.
I'm actually going to be having dinner with Michael and Phyllis. I think it's next week.
Okay, well, bring it up with him. And
I will bring it up.
Yeah, see if we want to do something like this.
He will tell you about his trip
to Nepal.
Yeah. I want to hear more about that myself.
Yeah, I did the same thing with John Kansas.
Yes.
And ended up being a 2-hour conversation. There's so much to share and enjoy just getting back together again. So yeah, that was good.
Oh, that's fantastic. Because I have not seen him since our trip.
Oh, okay.
So not since we got together to, I think, play all the music and the and show all the pictures.
Yeah.
Hey,
Bruce.
Okay, man.
Take care.
We'll chat again soon.
Yeah, and have a Merry Christmas.
And Merry Christmas to you too.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.